Hi YouTube family. Welcome to PeaceOfRen, where we drop gems and we speak for them. You guys are gonna have to bear with I got water on my fingers. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. I'm trying a new thing. I wanna see how this works out. And yeah, that's about all I got for intros, okay? So it's been a little minute. My birthday just passed this Monday, May 18th, Taurus gang. Um, and honestly, the celebration, like over the weekend leading up to my birthday, was fun. And it was like the best birthday that I've had in a long time. And honestly, just the best time that I've had in a long time. And I realized a lot of things that this birthday has brought with it, because the actual day, like on Monday, I was kind of experiencing a lot of emotional heaviness because, like, I've been grieving, but it's like I've been grieving the past versions of myself, and I've been grieving like old dynamics and cycles and just who I had to be, and I've really been committed to myself. And I don't know if I spoke about this here already, but like I never really committed to nothing like fully like that. Um, because I was just so used to change. So I learned how to be detached, and only to find out that the way that I detached, I feel like was kind of a form of protection for me, because I call it detachment, but in hindsight, I think that I was really guarding myself, and kind of closing myself off a little bit or shrinking, because I didn't want to be hurt again, or I didn't want to be disappointed. So I've really been sitting with the fact of like I never really allowed myself to want anything, because anytime I've ever wanted something, uh, things have not been permanent in my life. Okay, I have not had the most stable life. We moved around a lot when I was younger. So even like people, like getting attached to like friendships and stuff like that, like I just learned to kind of like, not get attached. Um, Not realizing that me detaching, it was like to protect myself from the disappointment and the hurt of having to like leave these things behind, but also still wanting connection, still wanting community, still wanting whatever the thing is. But I had to learn how to suppress said thing, because I was never in a space where like longevity was a thing. Um, and like the most stable that I actually ever really was in my life is like when I had moved out on my own and I was in North Carolina. And it was like, that was just a time of freedom. I reference that a lot, but it's because I was there for like 4 years, and that was the first time that I ever really knew like freedom and longevity and stability, and I didn't really have to depend on anybody for anything. So I always knew that I was going to be okay, because I've always known that I'm a dependable person. And maybe that has made me like hyper independent, because it would make it to where like I don't really like to ask for help. Yeah, and it's kind of hard for me to receive, and I can be transparent about that. But just yeah, that's kind of what that is. I really hope this is working. I don't got the little plug thing for my headphones, so I can't hear it in real time. So like I hope I'm not like doing a lot, and I hope this is y'all are picking this up okay. Um, Thank you for being patient with me as we go through this process. Y'all know I'm constantly changing and evolving, and just like 1,000 ego deaths. I've lived so many lives in this one life. It's not even funny. Speaking of ego deaths, yeah, this birthday, who it did not just bring with it another year, okay? I've been seeing a lot of themes around like seeds and plants, and like water and earth energy, and the way that water nurtures the earth. And I'm so used to pouring into everybody else, and I'm so used to watering everybody else and planting seeds for other people, excuse me, and then not having anything left to show for myself, because I end up depleted. And then when you don't have people pouring back into you, it's kind of hard to like fill yourself back up from empty. So I'm used to pouring into others and then seeing them watch their gardens grow and then get I would say reap the fruits of their labor, but technically they're reaping the fruits of my labor. I've been doing the emotional labor for everybody, okay? So now you're moving into a space of doing the emotional labor for myself, or just moving into a space of watering and nurturing myself, and just really allowing myself to be. I have realized that I realized the way that I thought that I had to be of service to people, because a lot of people like in the spiritual community resonate with like being a healer or protector or whatever you want to call it, and I would be considered a healer, right? But the thing that I don't be liking is because like if you're spiritual or you consider yourself to be a healer or just somebody who does the work of God, I feel like people automatically feel like you have to do free emotional labor, or people automatically feel like you're supposed to heal them or do the work for them. Like, okay, if you're a healer, then you're supposed to like help me, teach me, guide me and stuff. And so the way that I like operated in certain dynamics and in the world is like through that lens of like, well, healing has to be one-on-one. But I actually discovered something because I'm in school to get my bachelor's in psychology, and I actually discovered something in this class that I was doing, that I'm taking right now, which was about human services, and we're looking at like the different careers that you can get in human services. And I came across something that really moved me internally, but it kind of messed me up because I always thought like when I talk about healing, I always assume that I would be doing like one-on-one work or, you know, like counseling or like therapy or something like that. At least that's what I wanted to do in the past. But as I'm looking at all of these things, I'm like, man, none of this stuff resonates anymore. I don't know if I want to actually do any of these things. And I had come across like a community outreach worker, and then I was looking at like the descriptions of it, and I was like, oh, that resonates. Like something in me is just like, that's the one, that's the thing. And that really struck a chord with me, and I've been sitting with and turning over a lot of different concepts lately. Y'all know me, I already be emotional, but May brought with it a lot of emotions, a lot of things to be integrated. It brought up a lot of stuff to the surface for me because I feel like these were a lot of things that were like being purged out before my birthday got here, so that I can go into this with a new beginning. Because I'm 29, if you don't know, but I'm timeless. Okay, so my last year in my 20s, right? And something just feels so significant. And I've had a lot of like and creative ideas and things coming up to the surface. I actually have an offering that I've sat with and I've regrouped over and over on, and I kept going back until I felt like I got it perfect. I mean, perfection is like a myth, but also like I've got it to the point where I can't seem to find a reason not to put it out. So I'm just taking my time, and I've been really just enjoying the energy that has been my birthday. But I'm going to present this offering to you guys. It is, excuse me, it is called Soul Guided Reflection, and there are two tiers of it. Okay, you know, you have tier 1, which is the reflection itself, but then tier 2 is the entire reflection experience, the guided reflection. And I created like I made like little guides and stuff, you know, so that you guys will be able to do the practice and stuff on your own. And I'm just really excited to share it with you, because it took a lot of like going back to the drawing board, if you will. So I'll go into more detail about that when I launch it. Probably a soft launch. I don't like marketing because marketing just feels icky. Like, I'm not to say that that's like wrong if that's your job or anything, but for me, marketing feels icky because it feels like you're trying to sell something, and I never wanted to feel like that. So I love that with this offering, it's really like a reflection practice. And what I really love about it is that this is something that I naturally do like all the time, every day, every other day, every week. So it's like I've mastered this, and I feel comfortable in bringing this to you guys, right? For you guys to be able to learn how to ground deeper into yourselves and root deeper into self and really embody all that you are and experience your wholeness. And so, and I'm steady talking about it. Okay, whatever. Really, it's just to like, I basically teach others how to get in tune with their emotions and their body. get in tune with their internal world and how that interacts with the external world. And so basically it would just be like, you bring me your internal weather and I reflect you back to you in a way that you can understand, because our bodies are always like communicating with us, but sometimes it's really hard for us to understand the language, or some of us, we don't have language to communicate with our bodies. And especially when you're on like go, or when you are just in hustle mode, survival mode, we don't really listen to the signs and the signals that our body speaks to us in. So we don't really have that language. Like, you know that you don't feel good, but you don't know exactly what this particular thing is trying to communicate with you. Does that make sense? Like, oh, I know my head hurts, but I don't know if it's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm not hydrated today, or maybe it's because of a stressful situation at work, or maybe it's because I've been overthinking a lot of things, or, you know, or like the heart space is associated a lot with like grief. So it's like my chest has been really tight and bothering me, but you don't know that you've been grieving or dealing with, issues around self-love and just needed some more compassion. And just, so I'm really excited. That's something that I'm about to launch, and I will let you guys know when I do so, and maybe go into deeper detail. But it is something that will like naturally come up. Excuse me, because again, this is a practice that I naturally do all the time anyway. So it's like, I'll talk about it a lot because I'm always talking about my feelings and emotions and love and things like that, and just rooting deeper into self. Okay, so there's that. What else? Actually, what I had really wanted to get on here and talk to y'all about was love, because something happened and it was really triggering. I don't know if you guys resonate with, like, do you ever, how do I word this? And let me know in the comments, but do you ever, you be in a space where you're experiencing something, or you're having a different perception around a specific experience, and then you start seeing people like talk about that thing, right? So like, okay, to give you my specific example, love, right? I am a lover girl, always been a lover girl, and I've been learning about love and intimacy and connection and what that means to me, and y'all have heard me talk about this time and time again, but that is because that is a reoccurring theme, and that's just who I am, okay? Take it or leave it. And since I've really been feeling like I actually do want love and connection and intimacy, right? After going through a period where I'm not gonna lie, I feel like kind of jaded, because when you get hurt in love, you be like, I don't want love. But it's not that you don't want love. You actually don't want the pain, or you don't want the hurt, or you don't want the traumas, or you don't want the triggers. You don't want to deal with that. So then we start pushing self-love, right? Which is great. You're supposed to love yourself. Absolutely. But like, and I was talking to one of my friends about this. We're literally in the midst of having this conversation right now, talking about love, because it's like, after you cultivate all of this self-love, what do you do with it? If you have self-love, now what? Like, how much more selfish can you be? And I'm not saying like that makes you selfish, because like self-care, self-preservation is not selfish. If I say like I'm being selfish, it's like selfish with myself, not like, it doesn't matter. But anyways, so it's like, how much more love can I possibly cultivate for myself before it's okay for me to want love or connection or intimacy with another person? And I don't be liking that, because y'all be trying to make it seem like people who be wanting romance are like delusional, or like that's all that they care about, or like, and I'm not saying that some people don't prioritize romance and things like that, but I'm saying this from a space of, I actually started getting comfortable with the idea of love and what it means to me, and now I'm seeing a lot of agendas of like, yeah, you gotta love yourself, don't worry about no man or woman, whatever your preferences are, like, don't worry about a romantic partner, you have to love yourself. And but it almost, it pushes jaded energy, and it also kind of pushes bitterness if they're not careful, and it also pushes like hyper independence, which I just came out of that space. I'm tired of being hyper independent. I want somebody I can depend on. I want to be able to turn my brain off around somebody, like, and not constantly be on go. Not saying that I would ever like just turn my brain off, and because I'm always like hyper aware, but like, man, it would be really nice to be around somebody that I could trust, and I just don't have to think or do the most. Like, I don't always have to be aware of everything going on because I know this person is going to have my back. I don't have to be planning an exit or planning on how I'm going to defend myself if we're in a group of people, because I know this person is going to have my back. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I do want love. And something else I'd be talking about is like, I am so open to things, and I'll be like, okay, universe, I'm open to love. And the universe is like, yeah, you're open to it, but do you want it? And it's like, I'm open to love, however it works out. And it's like, I hear you saying you're open to it, but that sounds like it could go either way. And then when I finally like, okay, I want love, like, that hits different to say out loud. Or even like succeeding in like business. Like, I really have been like contemplating and going back and forth, hesitating on putting out this offering and a lot of the other creative ideas and things that I've been coming up with, because it's just like, I'm open to if this works out for me, because I've tried a lot of ideas. I'm not gonna lie. I've tried to launch a lot of different projects and stuff, and they're just not sticking, but it's because it wasn't really aligned with me and who I am or what I really want. I wasn't thinking big enough. So it's like, I'm open to the experience, and it's like, yeah, but you're not really willing to like bet it all on yourself. You're not really willing to like risk it or like say that you want it. And I know we constantly talk about being detached from things, and that's great, but I think how a lot of society perceives detachment is like guardedness and like closing yourself off. And that's not really detachment, because detaching is surrendering. It's like me saying, okay, I did this project and I can trust that I did enough to be able to launch this, as opposed to, yeah, I'm not going to launch this because I shouldn't want anything. Like, we're humans at the end of the day, so we're wired for connection. We're wired to want things. It's not an issue to want materials. It's an issue to overindulge. That's why everything is about moderation and balance. If you're a spiritual being having a human experience, you're still human, regardless how spiritual you are, how God or goddess like you claim to be, how many spiritual gifts and things that you have. You're still in this vessel, in this human vessel. So you have to understand that you still have like a limitation, but only if you perceive it to be a limitation. Because if you really open your mind and expand, it's like you can learn how to utilize that to really get everything that you want in this life with this vessel. But like, y'all be so caught up on the spiritual side of things that I feel like we deprave ourselves of a lot of things. We deprave ourselves, we degrade ourselves, and then we call it detachment. Yeah, you don't you det- we detach ourselves from pleasure and joy and peace, and we call it detachment. I say we because I was guilty. Like, I've been figuring this out, but it's been triggering me. The love thing has been triggering me, because don't make it seem like people who want romance are dumb, or like we're idiots, or like we're like clueless or something. There are real people who have done the work and who cultivate that self-love. And at the end of the day, excuse me wanting to have a romantic partner and somebody to share it with does not make me naive or codependent. It makes me human, because I want to have connection. Like, yeah, I could do everything on my own, but that is exhausting. I am tired. I can absolutely do it on my own, but let's be real. You're going to get something done faster if you have a partner to do it with. Not saying we have to depend on that person, but it's just like, y'all make it seem like romance is such an issue, and that's so weird, because the more love that we cultivate, the more like love is on the planet, and so like the frequency raises. You can have all the self-love you want, but if you're parading around and you are claiming to have so much self-love for yourself, but then you're guarded toward others, or you're acting jaded toward romance, have you really cultivated that self-love? And I'm not saying that everybody has to want to be with somebody. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying, if if you're somebody walking around putting emphasis on self-love and putting love anywhere else but romance, like, at that point it kind of becomes an issue, because you think it's okay to have love for family and love for friends, but romance is an issue, and that's where you draw the line. You can still be codependent on your family. You can still be codependent on your friends. I see how some of y'all be with y'all homeboys, and I see how some of y'all be with y'all homegirls, okay? So it's just like, I don't know. It's really weird to me, and it really triggered me. And I was actually watching My Hero Academia. Well, I watched the episode again, but the most recent one that they put out, the after episode of the see, whatever. Shut up. Anyways, the point is, something that Bakugo said actually stuck out to me. If y'all watch My Hero, you know why. Like, it's so funny, because even like Midoriya was like, Deku was like, you're telling me this? But he literally was like, if you keep going around saying that everyone or everything is special to you, or everything is important, or something like that, if you keep going around saying everything or everyone is special to you or important to you, then that's like saying no one is or nothing is. And that makes sense, because it's like, we are all special in our own ways. We all have our own gifts, but we all have our own mix of personalities and things. And that's why everybody doesn't necessarily click. It's not to say, if I say that I love everyone, I do love everyone, but also some people you have to love from a distance. Some people you want to be in closer proximity to. So that's like saying, I do love everyone and I care about everyone, but also, if I say that everyone is special, it is a way of saying that no one is special. Because if we loved or cared for everything and everyone exactly the same, how would anything actually be special or have any important significance? If that was the case, then we would all just be having the same experience. And I'm not saying that, again, you can't love, you can't care for people or think that everybody is important or that everybody is special, but it's the same with, like, how do we really appreciate the good if we've never experienced the bad? How can we really appreciate the sunshine if we've never experienced the rain? How do we appreciate the light if we've never experienced the dark? And vice versa, and all of those things. How can we have an appreciation? How can I appreciate you as a person over here for all of these loving and caring qualities that you have if I haven't experienced this person over here who can be colder or more detached? And it's not necessarily saying this person is bad or this person is good, but it's to say that this person is this person and this person is this person, and they're completely separate beings. Special in your own right, but special to me is different. Because absolutely, you're special, you're great, I care about you, but you're special to me. That hits different. How we care for different things in different ways. And this kind of goes back to when I talk about like love and care, and how I say, like, don't like just love me, like care for me, consider me, think about me, think about how your actions and how your, you know, your thoughts and stuff, how they impact me. And so I was really a lot more amped up when I got frustrated about this love thing, because I just hate that, like, everything to do with love y'all villainize. Everything to do with love y'all make it seem bad. And it's not even fair to love, because it's not even her. You're upset about the pain. You're upset about the way that this person mishandled love, and the way that this person lacked the capacity to truly love. You don't really not want love. You don't really not want connection. You just don't want pain, and you just don't want hurt, and you just don't want to be triggered, or you just don't want the drama. And that is completely valid. But let's stop blaming it on love, because it's really the lack of love that people have, the lack of capacity, the lack of consideration, because people are not aware of their own things. And it's okay to feel like, you know, it's okay for you to feel like maybe you're not ready to get back into relationships, or to deal with love, or to want that again. But let's not villainize, and let's not normalize making people who want to be in romantic partnerships out to be some codependent, like, cuckoo bird, because that's never what that gave. If anything, the people that actually love themselves, like, I love myself enough to say that I want to be in love. At the end of this, yes, I want to be in love. I want to be in romance, I want to have my happily ever after, whatever that looks like to you. It doesn't have to look like it does in the movies, but I'm just saying that to say that I want love. Y'all not gonna make me feel bad for that. You're not gonna make me feel crazy for wanting love or feeling like that doesn't exist, because otherwise, why is it such an issue? And that's something else. Y'all villainize or minimize the things that you don't understand. We villainize and we minimize, and it's not a big deal if it's not happening to you. When you feel as deeply as I feel, you know, like, I'm destined for love. That's all it is to it. Like, if that's not something that you want, like, I am not the person for you to approach. If you don't want to hear like love and peace and joy and positivity, I'm not the person for you to approach. And that's coming from a space of, I also know my darkness as much as I know my light. So it's not that I'm all love and light. It's more like I'm going to shed a light on your darkness and your demons. And that's why people get triggered and think that I'm naive and in my own little world. And I do be. This is why I stay in my own little world. Because y'all be projecting. And I don't like that. If you don't want to be in love, then that's on you. But at the end of the day, romance is what's going to save the world. Love is what's going to save the world. Yes, we should all love each other. We should love our brothers and our sisters. We should love our friends, our family, all of those things. But at the end of the day, there's nothing like having that one person that understands you. Because if everybody understood you, how could you appreciate that you're ever understood? If everybody truly saw you and heard you and listened to you, how could you ever truly appreciate what it feels like to be actually seen, heard, and accepted? If everybody, treated each other in that way. And that would be nice, but not everybody's meant to, like, wake up in this life, and not everybody's meant to go through a spiritual awakening, and not everybody's meant to do specific kinds of healing in this life. So unfortunately, that's just not realistic. And balance is a thing. Where there's good, there's bad, and vice versa. And there's nothing like having someone to build with. That's just how I feel. And this is just, I'm realizing how much I want love through a friendship that I have cultivated, a deep friendship that I have cultivated. And it's making me realize, like, yeah, I actually want to be in love, because actually being this close to you and having this connection with you, like, this is love and intimacy for what I know it to be. And at the end of all this, like, I do want to love that feels like this, and I do want to love that is allowed to deepen. And I do think that most connections are based off friendship first, and like camaraderie and stuff first. Because even in romance, it's like you want to feel like you're with your best friend, and you don't want to get lost so much in the romance that things aren't grounded. But like, yeah, I want to be in love. So what? Just because I want to love someone else doesn't mean that I don't love myself. Just because I want to have a partner to carry out life with, it doesn't mean that I don't love anybody else around me. Like, we love our kids, but how freaking hard is it to be a single parent and not have that person there with you that you thought, like, y'all was supposed to cultivate love, and then the child was like cultivating more love? It's hard. You want somebody to be there and do the life thing with. And plus, anyway, we're humans and we're wired for connection. So like, y'all just be doing a lot. But I don't know. I think it's weird that we can romanticize our homeboys and we can romanticize our homegirls, but the moment that I say that I want to be in love and have a partner, then I am being codependent. But you're shifting the responsibility off the person that would be like your love life partner onto like those around you, and you don't think that's weird? Maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Like, does anybody think it is? Because it's the same way with career. I've been realizing how connected love and career are, because those are the things that y'all we scrutinize a lot. Because even with career, you either pick a career where you get a lot of money so you're able to survive, or you pick a career where you love what you do, but then you feel like you're not able to survive because you're not getting that monetization that will actually compensate for the life that you need to live. That's why a lot of people walk around miserable. Think about it. Those are the two places people expect you to settle. You either have to settle in love or you have to settle in career, and some people settle in both. I'm going to settle for this person, or I'm going to settle for this kind of relationship because this is probably the best I'm going to get. I'm going to settle for this great friendship because this is probably the best I'm going to get. And I'm not going to reach for more because I could be disappointed. I'm going to settle for this job because this is probably the best I'm going to get and it's taking care of my bills. And even though it doesn't really make me happy, I'm going to settle here because this is probably the best life that I'm going to live. I don't want to do that. I refuse to do that. So, like, I've literally had dreams where like I've gone to like try to settle, and like I just felt aching in my heart. It just don't sit right with me. I'm not, and this is not me saying like you have to go out and quit your jobs or anything like that. But like it's okay, like if you don't like your job, but it's still okay for you to like take that money and build towards something you actually do love and care about. Like you could still like have your job but then start like a side hustle or whatever it takes to get to achieve your dream. Excuse me, confirmation. Or you can have this really great friendship, and then you could be learning about love, and now you really see what you want in a relationship, so then you can take that when you go out into the dating world and use that as information. But like we settle in love and career, and then we talk about the people who don't. We make fun of the people who don't. I have an engineering degree and you have an art degree. I'm gonna make more money and actually survive in the world. And it's like, but the person that's doing art is actually happy and you're miserable and you're settling. Not saying that's something y'all don't like engineers. I'm not coming for nobody. This is just what came up in my mind. I was trying to think of like STEM versus like art. I don't really be knowing y'all, so just you know. But I'm just y'all. You understand if you understand. Yeah, I've been in a situationship for 30 years and I'm really happy because I don't have to answer to nobody, and I don't feel tied down, and I have my independence. But also like you're lacking like a sense of security because you really don't know when this person is going to dip out or not. It's like they chose you but they didn't really. It's like they didn't really choose you because they didn't like stake a claim. Not to say that we own people or anything like that, but y'all understand what I'm saying? And then you make fun of the person that wants more. We treat love and career like it's a bad thing to. I can't have ambition and have love. I can't want interconnectedness. Not codependency, but interdependence. Like you be your own person and I be my own person, and then we have our things together, but like mine is mine, yours is yours, but then this ours is ours. We can't. But y'all make fun of people and y'all downplay a lot of stuff, and y'all not gonna make me feel bad for wanting to be in love. I don't care, because when I get my person, I'm going my man, my man, my man, y'all to death. And if it's a woman, I'm going my girl, my girl, my girl, y'all to death. And what are you gonna do? Settle? Ooh, I'm so scared. I'm not taking advice from nobody I wouldn't trade places with, okay? But this is getting kind of long. This is just kind of to catch you guys up on kind of what I've been going through, experiencing, contemplating, concepts and things I've been tossing around, and just to update you guys. So yeah, new offering being launched soon. It's done. I just have to launch it and get out of my head and stop trying to find something wrong with it. It's already done. I just have to deliver it to you, okay? And yeah, so I don't know. I mean, y'all know already, but I guess just prepare to look. I'm literally just here if you want to talk about your emotions and your body and like love and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I'm a Taurus. Oh, I said that because I told you I just had a birthday. Yeah. And I'm all about like, the five senses and things. I just like to feel. If you don't want to feel, You can't be around me because you gotta feel the healing, baby. If you're gonna be around me feeling, you're gonna be around me doing some healing. Okay, that's all I gotta say about that. I love y'all. I hope that this finds you well wherever you are in the world, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thank you for sharing space with me. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for still being here. We have a lot of good things to come, so stay tuned.